Okay, so Da went to Ireland, or to England rather, and they're hopeful that they'll get their £5 and things are going to get better for them. We know Malachy is ill, right? Malachy Sr. has alcoholism is a disease. He has a disease, and he has not been very adept at keeping a job. So we'll have to see how that plays out. 2:21 at the break. Mam and Brady Hannon sit by the fire upstairs in Italy, smoking woodbines, drinking tea, and I sit on the stairs listening. We have a father in England, so we can get all we want from Kathleen O'Connell's shop and pay when he starts sending the money in a fortnight. Mam tells Brady she can't wait to get out of this bloody lane to a place with a decent lavatory that we don't have to share with the half the world. We'll all have new boots and coats to keep off the rain so we won't be coming home from school famished. We'll have eggs and rashers on Sunday for breakfast and ham and cabbage and potatoes for dinner. We'll have electric light, and why shouldn't we? Weren't Frank and Malachy born to it in America, where everyone has it? All we have to do now is wait for 2 weeks till the telegram boy knocks at the door. Dad will have to settle into his job in England, buy work clothes and get a place to stay. So the first money order won't be big, £3 or £3.10, but soon we'll be like other families in the lane. £5 a week, paying off debts, buying new clothes, putting something in the savings against the time we'll pack up and move to England entirely and save there to go to America. Mam herself could get a job in an English factory making bombs or something, and God knows we wouldn't know ourselves with the money pouring in. She wouldn't be happy if we grew up with English accents, but better an English accent than an empty belly. Bridie says it doesn't matter what class of an accent an Irishman has, for he'll never forget what the English did to us for 800 long years. We know what Saturdays are in the lane. We know some families, like the Downses across from us, get their telegram early because Mr. Downs is a steady man who knows how to have a pint or two on Friday and go home to his bed. We know men like him run to the post office the minute they're paid so their families won't know a minute of waiting or worry. Men like Mr. Downs send their sons RAF wings to wear on their coats. That's what we want, and that's what we told Da before he left. Don't forget the RAF badges, Da. We see the telegram boys on their bicycles swing into the lane. They're happy telegram boys because the tips they get in the lanes are bigger than anything they get in the grand streets and avenues where rich people will begrudge the steam of their piss. The families that get the early telegrams have that contented look. They have all day Saturday to enjoy the money. They'll shop, they'll eat, they'll have all day to think about what they'll do that night. And that's almost as good as the thing itself, because Saturday night, when you have a few shillings in your pocket, is the most delicious night of the week. There are families don't get the telegram every week, and you know them by the anxious look. Mrs. Mager has waited at her door every Saturday for 2 months. My mother says she'd be ashamed of her life to wait at the door like that. All the children play in the lane and keep an eye out for the telegram boy. "Hi, telegram boy, do you have anything for Mager?" And when he says no, they say, "Are you sure?" And he says, "Course I'm sure, I know what I have in my feckin' pouch." Everyone knows the telegram boys stop coming when the Angelus rings at 6 and darkness brings desperation to the women and children. "Telegram boy, will you look in your pouch again, please? Oh God." "I did, I have nothing for you." "Oh God, please look, our name is Mager, will you look?" "I know bloody well your name is Mager, and I looked." The children clawed him up on his bicycle and he kicks at them. "Jesus, will you get away from me?" Once the Angelus rings at 6 in the evening, the day is over. The ones with the telegrams are having their supper with the electric light blazing away, and the ones that didn't get the telegrams have to light candles and see if Kathleen O'Connell might let them have tea and bread till this time next week, when surely, with the help of God and his blessed mother, the telegram will come. Mr. Meehan at the top of the lane went to England with Da, and when the telegram boy stops at Meehan's, we know we'll be next. Mam has her coat ready to go to the post office, but she won't leave the chair by the fire in Italy till she has the telegram in her hand. The telegram boy rides down the lane and swings over to the Downses. He hands them their telegram, takes the tip and turns his bicycle around to head back up the lane. Malachy calls, "Telegram boy, do you have something for McCourt? Ours is coming today." The telegram boy shakes his head and rides away. Mam puffs on her woodbine. "Well, we have all day, though. I'd like to do a bit of shopping early before the best hams are gone at Barry the Butcher." She can't leave the fire and we can't leave the lane for fear the telegram boy might come and find no one at home. Then we'd have to wait till Monday to cash the money order, and that would destroy the weekend entirely. We'd have to watch the Means and everyone else parading around in their new clothes and staggering home with eggs and potatoes and sausages for Sunday and sailing off to the films on Saturday night. No, we can't move an inch till that telegram boy comes. Mum says don't be too worried between noon and 2 because many telegram boys go for their dinner and there will surely be a big rush between 2 and the Angelus. We don't have a thing to worry about till 6. We stop every telegram boy. We tell him our name is McCourt, that this is our first telegram. It should be £3 or more. They might have forgotten to put our name on it, or our address. Is he sure? Is he sure? One boy tells us he'll inquire at the post office. He says he knows what it's like to wait for the telegram because his own father is a drunken old shit over in England that never sent a penny. Mum hears him inside and tells us, you should never talk about your father like that. The same telegram boy comes back just before the Angelus at 6 and tells us he asked Mrs. O'Connell at the post office if they had anything from McCourt all day, and they didn't. Mum turns toward the dead ashes in the fire and sucks at the last bit of goodness in the woodbine caught between the brown thumb and the burnt middle finger. Michael, who's only 5 and won't understand till he's 11 like me, wants to know if we're having fish and chips tonight because he's hungry. Mum says, next week, love. And he goes back out to play in the lane. You don't know what to do with yourself when the first telegram doesn't come. You can't stay out in the lane playing with your brothers all night because everyone else has gone in, and you'd be ashamed to stay out in the lane to be tormented with the smells of sausages and rashers and fried bread. You don't want to look at an electric light coming in through the windows after dark, and you don't want to hear the news from the BBC or Radio Éireann from other people's wirelesses. Mrs. Megger and her children are gone in, and there's only the dim light of a candle from their kitchen. They're ashamed too. They stay inside on Saturday nights, and they don't even go to Mass on Sunday mornings. Bridie Hannon told Mam that Mrs. Megger is in a constant state of shame over the rags they wear, and so desperate, she goes down to the dispensary for the public assistance. Mam says that's the worst thing that could happen to any family. It's worse than going on the dole. It's worse than going to the St. Vincent de Paul Society. It's worse than begging on the streets with the tinkers and the knackers. It's the last thing you'd do to keep yourself out of the poorhouse and the children from the orphanage. There's a sore at the top of my nose between my eyebrows, grey and red and itching. Grandma says, don't touch that sore and don't put water near it or it'll spread. If you broke your arm, she'd say, don't touch that with water, it'll spread. The sore spreads into my eyes anyway, and now they're yellow, red and yellow from the stuff that oozes and makes them stick in the morning. They stick so hard I have to force my eyelids open with my fingers, and Mam has to scrub off that yellow stuff with a damp rag and boric powder. The eyelashes fall off, and every bit of dust in Limerick blows into my eyes on windy days. Grandma tells me I have naked eyes, and she says it's my own fault. All that eye trouble comes from sitting up there at the top of the lane under the light pole in all kinds of weather with my nose stuck in books. And the same thing will happen to Malachy if he doesn't give over with the reading. You can see little Michael is getting just as bad, sticking his nose in books, when he should be out playing like a healthy child. Books, 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 says Grandma. You will ruin your eyes entirely. Mam's having tea. She's having tea with Mam, and I hear her whisper, the thing to do is to give him St. Anthony's spit. What's that, says Mam. You're fasting, spit in the morning. Go to him before he wakes and spit on his eyes, for the spit of a fasting mother has powerful cures in it. But I'm always awake before Mam. I force my eyes open long before she stirs. I can hear her coming across the floor when she stands over me for the spit. I open my eyes. God, she says, your eyes are open. I think they're getting better. That's good. And she goes back to bed. The eyes don't heal, and she takes me to the dispensary where the poor people see doctors and get their medicines. It's the place to apply for public assistance when a father is dead or disappeared and there's no dole money or wages.